Hey, good morning, our wonderful people. Welcome to the program. Today is another day that the God of our ancestors has made. Today is April the 6th of 2024. So thank you. Welcome to the program. As usual, you are a partner, you're a board member, so don't shy away. We are not looking for people to praise us and sing all the glory. We're looking for partners, collaborators, people that understand this work so that you can begin the work in your neighborhood. So no thank you required. Just be an active listener, an active member so we can get this thing going. Time is of essence. My name is Monachin Saga, and I am a mother of 4 Igbo children. I'm from the Great Igbo Nation. I am in economic exile in Houston, Texas, and I'll allow my sister to introduce herself. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the program. Thank you, my sister Monachi. We welcome everyone today. Today's show is, of course, my name is April. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Today's show is kind of sober, like the way we look at it, it's heartbreaking, but we'll go through it. No, we might step on toes, but that's not the essence. The essence is not to step on toes. The essence is because a section of us are not okay. Because if we know anything about our culture and who we are, we care so much about the poor, especially children and women too. So if it's affecting them, then it's affecting all of us. That means we need to address it. So it's not typical Nina's mobilization show, but it's still part of it because we need to fix certain things, cleanse our homes so that we can embrace the package of freedom for all and justice for all that we've been preaching on this platform. Thank you once again. Continue to help us share, like, and subscribe. We love you so much, and we're giving our all that you might live the type of life you are supposed to live. I will join us in sharing. We'll pull up Nina's video so that we'll share as that is going on, playing in the background. We're sharing, we're inviting our friends to this discussion. This is an important discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my sister.
Yes, as we continue to beam the satellite on what went wrong with our society, with our union, with our country just talking about land, description of geographical expression, that's the only setting in which we can call Nigeria our country. It's not our project, it's not our union, if we cannot sit down to agree to make it our union. Because the agreement we reached in Lancaster House to make it our union had long been overtaken. And what we have now is an imposition being maintained and sustained by brigandage. And if anybody thinks it's going to be so for all times, such a person is just a lunatic. And so we come to why are things the way they are. The purpose of education is for us to be able to apply it, to understand what's going on around us, to solve the problems we can, identify in form of diagnosis. We have told everybody 1 million times about the source of all the problems. The constitutional basis of Nigeria, the constitutional arrangements of Nigeria is the source of all the other problems. Let whoever wants to debate that come forward so that we can teach them on national TV, whoever they are. And so, how does it work? Why is it so? The Constitution is at the base. Some will say, oh, let the institutions work. Let rule of law work. The Constitution creates the institutions. The constitution is the foundation. What are the institutions? INEC, for instance, is a creation of the constitution. The National Assembly, for instance, is a creation of the constitution. NNPC and the refineries and how they are to be managed, the exclusive lists, that's the list of responsibilities, and therefore the assets and all kinds of things. That is, it is the constitution that creates the institutions. The police and their mandate is the constitution that put it on the exclusive list and makes provision inside the body of the document for how it will be. It is the constitution that creates the presidency, the governance structures. It is the constitution that creates the 36 states, say they will be the federating units. It is the constitution that says that the local government areas must now be in the constitution, saddling us with responsibility for financing 812 governments, which means thousands and thousands of bureaucracies, because one government, for instance, the federal government, with all the 48 ministers and all the permanent secretaries and all the directors and all the MDAs that will have their chief executives and all kinds of paraphernalia, you are talking about humongous bureaucracy from one government. As it is with the federal government, so it is with each of the states. The governor, the commissioners, the House of Assembly members, each of which have their own facilities of importance. That's all it represents, because it doesn't render any service to the people. And so in that setting, you could see that it is the constitution that creates the institutions that have rendered their governance impossible. The rule of law that should have been the basis of moderating our society is rendered impossible by the constitution. Because what is the rule of law in the face of a constitution of fraud? You take my assets and you say it now belongs to you because you wrote a decree pointing guns at me. You carve all the lands into 36 states and 704 local government areas that now determines the representation in the place of decision making. All those 36 states were created by decree. I wasn't there the day you created Abia State. It was for your purpose. It's not for anything that will solve my problem. You were trying to fracture me and my neighbor from talking amongst ourselves. River State, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Delta, Benue, Plateau, all of that. Yes, there are diversities that have to be managed. But in managing that diversity, what is the difficulty in asking Ijaw people to stand on Ijaw land? Asking Ogoni people to stand on Ogoni land? Ishekiri people stand on Ishekiri land? Anang people stand in Anang land? Allow them to discuss among themselves how they want to federate among themselves, and together coming to discuss with other people who have held similar discussions. Let the Jukun sit with the chief, let the Doma sit with the Berom, and all of that in that geographical axis to determine. That was what the British ran away from at the time they were creating Nigeria in 1914. They never talked to the people. They confiscated their sovereignties by treaty. They just by fiat created a union in 1914. From that time, or even when they were going to Lancaster House, Eastern region, Western region, was it a product of the owners of the sovereignty? To date, the owners of the land and lands that are aggregated to form the union have not constituted themselves into a union. That is the meaning of constitution. To constitute, to come together to make one unit. And it is in that constitution, because some people just see constitution as the document that is painted green, white, green. No, it goes far beyond that. It is the fact of agreeing to be in union, one political union. It is the union agreement as documented. That's the meaning of constitution. For the blockheads that go about discussing constitution as if it's just a document that anybody anywhere can write. It is the owners of the sovereignties that have the exclusive right, not the government. The government is a creation of the constitution. The constitution itself is a creation of the peoples of Nigeria. If you want to ascertain that, go to section 14.2a of the disputed of the 1999 constitution, disputed as it is. It was the framers admitted there that sovereignty belongs to the people, from whom government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. That simply means that only the owners of the land that have agreed among themselves to federate can write a document that will regulate that federation. And so when one Absalom Abaka turns up from wherever and then issues one decree number 24 in 1999 to claim that we have settled that question, and then on the basis of that falsehood began to create all the institutions that are tormenting us now.
No kidding.
INEC, Supreme Court, 36 states, 7 and 4 local government areas, 68 items of exclusive list, police, army, everything in between, executive, judiciary, legislature. Look at the kind of the kind of gathering of renegades, regional renegades. Look into that chambers in the Senate and the House and see the kind of people that have gathered to represent you, to think, to plan for you, and look at what they're actually doing at a time your roof is on fire. And so it is the constitution. It is the constitution that dictates what the institutions will be. It is when the institutions are so dictated that they now begin to regulate, the affairs of the constituents in all those spheres of responsibility allotted the institutions by the constitution. And so constitution creates INEC. INEC begin to register political party, PDP, APC, Labour Party, ABGA, begin to set guidelines. Constitution creates National Assembly. It says Electoral Act. Constitution creates the NNPC. It begins to do refinery that does not work. So in that setting, if you do not settle, talking about how we can come out of this valley of death in which Nigeria seems to have fallen, if we do not tell ourselves the truth that is staring us in the face, that it is because the foundation upon which we are building is false. All the things the Nigeria we are trying to build on the basis, on that foundation, is doomed to fail. I am one of those who is supposed to be doing that construction with you. But on account of that falsehood that replaced the agreement we had at the beginning to be a federation with the imposition of unitary union that ties my hand to the back, seizes my assets, forbids me from touching gun to protect myself from those who are pointing guns at me, limiting the opportunities I will have on any subject by quota system. These are the creations of the constitution. These are the handiwork of the institutions, the lopsided institutions created by that constitution. The 4 regions have become 36 states, in which I'm now a voiceless minority, despite being a substantial part of the population. I am now boxed into where my numbers, the number I will have in the place of decision making at the National Assembly is restricted and limited to what was done by fiat of one section. Look at the map behind. All the people who created all these shenanigans come from that part that is yellow.
Yep.
Where were the officers from the rest of the country?
Yep.
In all the years they were creating all those things that became constitution in 1979, carried forward in 1999. And so it is in recognizing. People are crying now, oh, Naira is falling. The other day, I think it was Arise TV that brought Kingsley Moghalu to come to say, oh, the Naira is having a free fall. You are the expert. What do we do? And Kingsley Moghalu, surprisingly, came back to the realization that the institutions created by the Constitution are the reasons all kinds of things are happening where they are. And he admitted that the first port of call is to go back to rework the constitutional basis of Nigeria so that the institutions can be reset. Otherwise, the institutions we have now are bound, doomed to fail. Because the constitution that created them it had its own motives, totally different from what you would have preferred if you were the one making that constitution. The summary of it all is thinking in 3 dimensions, like the foundations of a building, the vertical column and the roofing structure, the root structure of a tree, the trunk and the foliage. The Constitution is the foundation of the society. That's the polity Nigeria has defined. Then the politics you see are like the pillars, the vertical column sitting on that foundation. And the policies you see, the roofing structure sitting on those pillars of politics. And so if you do not get the foundation right, the polity, if you do not set the polity, that's all this shout about constitution. Nothing will work on the foundation we're building now. The building is doomed to fall, to collapse. So those who are crying about policy outcomes, the economics is upside down, the Naira is collapsing, the hunger is climbing among the populace, the refineries are not working, all kinds of things. Policy matters. If you want to get the policies right, and you are not thinking about the politics that produce those policies, look at the kind of people that have converged in government house today, and you will expect that you get anything different from what you have now. Why can't we use our God-given intellect with all the PhDs we parade all over the place to know that the sequence of getting things done is to deal with the foundation, deal with the vertical column sitting on that foundation, and the roofing structure sitting on the pillars, the vertical columns. That is how we can come to having the policies that will work. Otherwise, madmen have taken over the asylum the world calls Nigeria.
Yep. So you will be running around like a dog chasing its tail. At the point it will just pass out. That's what's gonna happen. At the point it will just pass out. But I think, Tony, thank you so much for that wonderful explanation for those that are still thinking that God will do it for them, that the miracle worker. There is nothing too hard for this our God to do. When they know there is a constitutional issues and they are busy calling God as if God has nothing else to do. You guys are his only problems, please. Thank you so much for that wonderful video. Go ahead, my sister. You're smiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep smiling because, there's nothing God cannot do. No, but when you want to eat yam, you don't wait for God to come down from heaven and cut the yam and put it on fire for you. No, there are things that God has left in the realm of humans. You must do them. If you don't do them, you're being disobedient. And God does not bless
no mess.
God does not bless mess. It is that even you as a parent, you're raising a child when the child is no more a toddler, the child is creating mess, and you say, no, I'm coming to pick it for you. You're not helping that child. That's how God is. God has kept certain things at the level of humanity, and he expects us. That's the expectation. He's expecting us to fix it. That's why he put you here on earth, to be in charge. But instead of being in charge, you start deceiving yourself. No, that's not how it